Hello and welcome to another podcast episode. Busy week. I've done tons of knitting this week, but it's not necessarily on things I can show you. I've got a deadline and I have one sleeve left to knit. I should have finished it tonight, this evening. Filmed this about 9 in the morning, but I timed myself over the last 2 days knitting sleeve 1, and it took me 8 to 9 hours. I timed 8 hours, but I think I probably did an hour before I decided to time myself. So I don't think I can get 9 hours of knitting done today because of other commitments I have today as well. So I've emailed the editor and said, can I post it a day late? So I've got 2 days to knit the sleeves, or the second sleeve, and then I got to do the button band as well, and weave in all the ends and press it. So but it needs to be finished because on Thursday I go up to Black Sheep Rules workshops. Very excited about that. But I have managed to do a little bit on a couple of projects. So today I thought I'd look at the progress I made on the knitting I managed to do apart from my deadline project. Also, I have a new design in knitting magazine, and then I thought I'd talk about my plans for the weeks ahead. I have several projects I've been languishing for a while, so I brought those up just so I can see where I am and see if I can make a plan to get those finished as well. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you're new here, my name is Anniken. I design knitting patterns. I teach knitting workshops online and in person, and I sell yarn through my website, YarnAddict.co.uk. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. So I've got loads of stuff coming up. I've got loads of deadlines over the next couple of months, and loads of other stuff coming up as well. So 13th, 14th and 15th of February, I'm going to be at Unravel. Really excited about that. I'm in the same spot as last year, downstairs in the salad bar, I think it is, or next to the salad bar, downstairs anyway, which is a really good spot. And then I'm only home for 2 days after that, and then I go to Norway for 2 weeks. And then I am at Black Sheep Rules on the 13th and 14th of March. Flora headband. I meant to get that out because I need to pack it for the workshop this weekend at Black Sheep Rules. I forgot, so I'll put a picture up. Basically, you learn beaded lace knitting. So we'll start working on the Flora headband because it's a really nice project to learn beaded lace knitting on. So whether you're new to lace, new to beads, want a refresher for lace knitting, or just fancy a fun little project to get you back into lace knitting, don't have to add the beads if you don't want to, but I'll show you how to do them, and then you can decide whether you want to add the beads or not. And that's on the 13th of March. And then on the 14th of March is brush improvers. Now, if you have done brioche before and you know how to do basic 2-color brioche, then this is the perfect class for you. Even if it was a while ago since you did 2-color brioche, and you feel like you're not that confident, you may feel like you've not practiced enough, so you feel a little bit nervous about it, you can still do this workshop. Especially if you've done one of my 2-color brioche workshops, then you can definitely do this workshop. If you're not sure what your skill level are compared to a workshop, let me know. I'm very good at adjusting my teaching to people's skill levels, so I'm quite happy to teach across several different skill levels. So even if you feel like you don't have the confidence or possibly the skills to tackle brioche improvers, basically what we're going to do is we're going to do a refresher on basic 2-color brioche rib, and then we're going to add increases and decreases to create various patterns. And you're going to work on one of my hand warmer patterns, which I'll pop a picture up on the screen because I've packed it. Because I'm teaching brioche basics, which is basic 2-color brioche, this weekend at Black Sheep Rules, or on Friday I think it is. And so I packed the stuff for the brioche improvers just so I can show it off. So if you're a little bit not quite confident enough, you can still take this workshop. I will get you up to speed. I'm very good at teaching across various experience levels, various confidence levels. So, and if you're not sure, message me. But I'll link the workshops below. Then the week after that, I'm off to London to teach at the Stitch Festival. So I am teaching on the Thursday 19th. I'm teaching Filet crochet, which is, I don't know whether it'll be actually this one or something else. I haven't quite decided yet. I need to decide kind of next week, but it's kind of this kind of thing, kind of picture crochet. Traditionally, it tends to be very fine, like lace curtains, that kind of thing, but I'm making it a little bit more modern and up to date. Like this is a little scarf. I won't put it on because of my mic, but I have a couple of patterns that I used to use when I used to teach it a few years ago. So I'm just updating those at the moment. Then I might design something new. It just depends how much time I have. And I'm also on the Thursday 19th teaching Continental knitting and button bands. If you want to learn how to pick up stitches and knit a button band and 1-row buttonholes, that would be a really good workshop to take. It's basically a small section I've taken out of my finishing techniques workshop. And then on the Saturday 20th, I'm teaching seaming knitted fabric. So mattress stitch, you'll learn how to do rows to rows, stitches to stitches, and stitches to rows. So any seaming you need to do in any knitted garment, you'll learn to do that. And then in the afternoon, I'm teaching Intarsia colorwork. And then on Saturday 21st, I'm teaching Continental knitting in the morning and Filet crochet again in the afternoon. So you've got 2 chances to do Continental knitting and Filet crochet. So I'm only doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 workshops over 2 days. It's less than I did at Harrogate, so it should be a bit easier, hopefully. And then I'm back at Black Sheep Rules at the end of April, but I think those are fully booked. We are discussing future dates of Black Sheep Rules, so hopefully we'll be able to announce those soon. I need to email them with my availability. So that's what's coming up in the next few months. Also, before we move on to what I've been working on, let's just quickly let me just check something quickly. Yes, I thought it was. So today, this afternoon, I'm filming this. I'm filming on a Tuesday, so I'm filming 2 days earlier because I'll be away when I normally film this. So on Tuesday, it'll be the Tuesday before you see this video, Tuesday 13th, I posted a tutorial on my YouTube channel, which is basically a sample lesson from my finishing techniques course. Is how to do an I-cord cast off and I-cord button holes. So if you fancy I-cord edging on your cardigan, how you can incorporate the buttonholes and do the I-cord cast off. That is live on YouTube on the 13th of January. So it's a video before this one. I will try and remember to link it below. But the thing is, it includes a discount code. If you have already purchased my finishing techniques course and you think, I don't remember there being an I-cord lesson in there. There wasn't. I uploaded it last week because last few months when I've been teaching finishing techniques in person, the I-cord lesson was basically like an extra bit at the end that we didn't always have time to do. It was kind of a bit of extra in case we finished early, because I find it's a workshop where we either just finish on time or we finish like half an hour, or sometimes I finish like an hour early. Then I've been like, right, I got to fill in. What else can we do? It just really depends. So I've had the I-cord cast off and I-cord buttonholes, plus a few other things kind of as a reserve, as an extra for a while. So a couple of different couple of other cast offs and things. So usually at the end, depending on how much time we have, I'll give people a choice. So this was one that we've done a few times last year when I taught this workshop. So last week I finally filmed it as a lesson for my finishing techniques course, online course. If you do my in-person workshop, then you will get that for free after the workshop. If you haven't, then you can get it. If you watch the video, there is a code for 10% off the online finishing course, which is valid till the 25th of January. But you have to watch the video to find out what it is. So don't forget to go and watch it if you haven't already seen it. Also, almost forgot, there's still 50% off the YarnAddict online shop until 18th of January, which I think is that Sunday or Monday? I think it's Sunday. But my discount codes are always set to expire the day after I say, so that if I mess up time zones and stuff, got a bit of leeway. So if you haven't done it, you might be able to purchase Monday morning, but don't wait too long. 15% off, code New Year, all one word. Loads of yarn, my books, Beaded Lace Knitting, Easy Lace Knits, loads of notions and beads. So go and check that out because not a lot of time left. Okay, now let's get on to the knitting, or rather crochet first, because the project I've been keenest to finish is my crochet sweater. Now I probably should have put on my other version of this, but I haven't, because I haven't done the ironing this week, and I didn't have any like long sleeve t-shirts to wear, so I put this jumper on. But this is quite warm and I can't wear anything on top of it. In fact, I've had to open my window because the house is so hot. It was around 0 a week ago, just below 0, around 0. It was really cold. So I think we put the heating up a little bit in some of the rooms. It comes on in the morning on the timer, and then it goes off for most of the day, and then it comes back on in the afternoon. And this morning it's really, really hot. So I had my little desk fan on here, but I can't have on that when I'm filming. So I've now opened the window because I am looking a little bit hot. So I didn't want to go and put my other version of this on, but I have finished the front. I'm really excited. So let's just see where I was last week. I put a marker in last week where I was. So I was there last week. So I've only done, how many rows did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rows. Did 10 rows last week from there to finish it. Let's take that marker off, and then I went, so I think this is the front. So look, yes, that's the front. So the front is all finished now, like that. Front is finished. So, and then I picked up on the, or carried on the back. So I've done 1, 2, 3.5 rows on the back from where that green marker is. So not very far, but I will put this in so that next week I remember where I am. So I am really desperate to finish this. I would really like to finish this in the next week. I think at the end of last week, there was one day where I worked out how many days till I go away to Black Sheep Balls this Thursday. How many rows I had to do on this, and how many rows I'd have to do a day. And I'd have to do, I think, 4.5 repeats, which is 2 rows, a grey row and a lilac row. And I thought I just can't do that with the deadline knitting I have. But I'm going to try and finish this by next week. So it's Tuesday today, the day on tomorrow. Most of my knitting will be on this sample I need to finish. Then as soon as I finish that sample tomorrow, I'm going to get back to this, and then I will take this with me when I travel up to Black Sheep Balls. I won't have a ton of time to knit. On the way up, I'll have time, or crochet rather. I'll have time on the way up when I stop services. Normally I try and stop twice. The last time I stopped twice, I think. I had a bit of a break, and I brought my knitting in with me and to the services. I probably won't bring this in with me because this is quite big, and it's supposed to be raining on Thursday, I think. So I probably won't bring this in with me. So this will probably be worked on in the evening. So I'll have Thursday evening, Friday evening at the hotel. So I don't know if that's going to be enough time. So if we say, if I can finish the sleeves tomorrow afternoon, so Wednesday evening I can work on this. Thursday evening, Friday evening, Saturday evening I'll be driving home, and I'll work on it on Sunday. Don't know if that's going to be enough time to finish it, but I would kind of like to finish this by Sunday. But that might be a bit much. Then I also have to, I'm probably going to block it. I'll try it on and see how it fits. I think the width is narrower than my original was because I changed the pattern slightly, and I went up a hook size, but I changed, so these purple or lilac clusters on the original was 7 trebles. I changed it to 5 to make it a little bit lighter. So and a bit quicker. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I need to pack some more yarn. Now, last week when I picked up some new yarn to crochet with, I don't know if you remember, if you were watching me last summer, I started. No, it wasn't this one. It was another. I did another sweater in this yarn, which I started before I went to Norway last July, and I ordered the extra yarn I needed because I didn't have enough. I can get it wholesale in this country, so I ordered what I needed. But I thought when I arrived, I thought it looks a bit brighter, but I didn't actually check it. I just packed it in my backpack, and I was working on it on the way to Norway. Got to Norway, finished the original yarn I had, picked up the new yarn, and it was a completely different dye lot. I mean, it looked like a completely different color. It was a massive difference, and I was like, oh, that's what I do. I thought I can't try and ease it in, like blend it in, it's not going to work. So I had to look online to see if I could find it for anywhere in Norway, because it's a Danish company. It's YarnAddict Organic Trio, which is a Danish company. I found a website because they had like a .no behind it, you know, in the address. I assumed it was a Norwegian company, and I ordered. Turned out it was Danish, and I ended up having to pay customs fees, which I was a little bit annoyed because I thought there was like a free trade thing in Scandinavia, but apparently not. But it happened to be the exact same dye lot as the new yarn I bought here. So I hadn't bought the yarn I bought it. I don't think I'd bought it wholesale. I think I bought it retail because it was just quicker. So the new yarn I got in Norway was the same as the new yarn I got here, but different than the yarn I was originally working with. So I had to rip out everything I'd done and start again. Anyway, obviously had a ball of the old one left, so when I needed a new ball last week, I just went and grabbed one, started working on it, got half a row in, and thought, that doesn't match. It was a completely different dye lot, and I need to bring another one with me. So I'm just looking now, because I don't think I've got a label here, have I? Oh yes, maybe I do. Just make sure I'm taking the right dye lot. Color 5029. Yes, that is the same dye lot. Okay. So I'm taking 1.5 of those with me and 1.5 of the grey. Hopefully that'll be enough to finish it, or at least keep me going while I'm away. So I'm going to try and do as much on this in the evenings while I'm away and see if I can finish this by Sunday, or definitely by next week. I need to next week get on with some more deadline knitting. I have a Fair Isle sample I need to knit. It's a smallish one, but it's all over Fair Isle, and I can't work on Fair Isle all the time because it hurts my neck more. With normal knitting and crochet, I don't have to look at it every time. I glance at the telly, look at my knitting, glance at the telly. With Fair Isle, because the colourwork, I have to look at knitting or the pattern all the time. So because that means I'm going to look down more, it hurts my neck more because I have an old neck injury, 2 old neck injuries. So I can't work on colour work all the time. So I need to have a break, and I do have another sample I need to knit up by before Unravel, like the week before Unravel, so about 10th of February, I think. The yarn hasn't arrived yet. It should be posted today, so it should hopefully be here tomorrow or Thursday, or definitely by the end of the week. So I need to cast on for that next week as well. And that's a lot easier. And then I have some yarn coming, hopefully today or tomorrow, some cashmere Lang palettes, I think it is. It's the Lang cashmere lace, the extra fine lace, the extra thin lace. The Lang palettes, the sequin yarn, and some Lang mohair silk coming. Should hopefully be here today. And I want to knit up a couple of samples, new pattern for Unravel. So I'm also going to try and do that. And that I need to do quickly enough so I can send a pattern to my tech editor to check it. I'm probably going to do one with the cashmere first, I think. I can't remember how many colours of the cashmere I ordered, so I need to wait and see what arrives. I also ordered some cashmere and some of the sequined yarn to actually knit myself a cardigan. And I'd like to knit that before I go to Norway, but that's not going to happen because of all this deadline knitting. But I'd like to start it and probably take that with me as a project in Norway. The problem is this Lang sequined yarn comes on, because I bought one ball in Norway, comes on like a cardboard thing, so it takes up more space than really should. But if you wind it off this, you get in an awful lot of a mess and tangle, because I did that with the other sequin yarn I was working on last time I was in Norway, the Rico Make It Brimshin sequin yarn, and I got in a right mess with it. So this is what I bought in Norway, and I'm working on this. I also got some Phil Kalana mohair silk, and I'm working on this headband. It's double knitting. I have tried single color double knitting before, and I must admit it's a little bit, I like the look of it. It's a headband that looks the same on both sides. It basically looks like you've got stocking stitch on both sides, but it's really slow, and it's a bit boring, to be quite honest. I haven't worked on it since I came home. I knitted that on the last evening in Norway, and on the way home I just love the look of it. It's going to be a headband. I'd like to finish before I go back to Norway in February, because it could be cold. I'll probably get a chance to wear it there. And it's so pretty, but it's a bit boring to knit. So I might take this with me this weekend. It depends on whether my new cashmere yarn arrives. If my cashmere yarn arrives, I might quickly, because I think I've decided what I'm going to do with it. So I might cast that on, because it's going to be a fairly easy project and quite small to start with. So I might cast that on and take that with me as a kind of out and about project while I'm away this weekend. So when I stop at the services, I can take that in and knit on it while I'm having a snack and a break. When I go out to dinner Thursday night, I can take it with me and knit a bit while I wait for my food and that kind of thing. So I think I'm going to do that. If it doesn't arrive in time, then I'll take this. I don't know. I don't want to rip this out because it's the second time I've started a plain double knit headband. The first time I abandoned it because I got so bored with it. I also have some ideas for a 2-color double knit. I'd like to get into 2-color, like Fair Owl double knit, because that looks a bit more interesting. And then probably next year, add that as one of my workshops. That's my plan. But I thought I'd start with something easy, but also it's a bit boring. So let's look at my other 2 projects. So this one, I haven't worked on since last week. So that's my socks. We won't bother looking at that. I thought I might take that away with me this weekend, but I probably won't bother. Leave that. Might get some done on that at yarn. May get some done on that at Unravel. Last year I knitted a whole sock across the cast on Thursday evening. We were having dinner, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the show, and in the evening, I knitted. Was it mainly at the show? Did I work on something else in the evening? I can't remember. But I knitted a whole sock, which was pretty amazing. Okay, so this is where I am on this sweater, which has been hibernating since before Christmas. I am about that far into one sleeve. I really wanted to finish this before I go to Norway, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that, to be perfectly honest. I just wanted to see how much I'd gotten knit done on it, and I've got a lot left to do. So this has been on the needle since last September. This is the problem. When I design for magazines, I can't really be knitting loads of stuff for my own pattern line and myself as well, because I just don't have enough time. So I think with this, I'm going to leave it till I've finished. Crochet one is first, then the stuff I need for Unravel and the sample knitting I have to do for 2 magazines. And then I want to cast on for the sequin cashmere cardigan I want to knit on while I go to Norway. And then I'll probably leave this now till I get back from Norway and start on it. I just want to see where I was on it. Finally, before we finish, slightly shorter podcast today, let's have a quick look at Knitting Magazine. Issue 266 was out in the shops last week. My copy arrived yesterday. I didn't do a video of the sample before I sent it in because I didn't have time. And I haven't really had time to look at this issue either because it's just been so busy. So let me just have a look at my samples. There won't be a separate video this week about this issue because I don't have the sample. The sample hasn't been sent back yet, and I didn't film anything before I sent it off. Normally what I do is I try and film a small short video talking about the sample before I send it off, and then when magazine comes out, I'll film a bit where I show you what else is in the issue and then put it all together and put out a separate video, but that's not going to happen this time. So but that's my sample. I'll try and pop a picture up on the screen as well. Really nice yarn. It's let me just remember what it is. It's a Rico Luxury Merino Alpaca Dream Aran. I've done it with 3/4 length sleeves. You can do it with longer sleeves, but I was thinking that's quite nice to wear over like long sleeve t-shirts and stuff. It looks like they've done this photo shoot in a yarn shop. because on the page before it's in front of some yarn. So I'm assuming they've done this in a yarn shop. And next to the sample that I made is a little cheeky brioche project. I also noticed, because I'm looking through this, on the next page, it's a design by Christine Boggies, who's the editor of Knitting Magazine. And she has actually modelled it herself, which I'm amazed. She looks amazing. It's knit in Rowan Alpaca Sparkle. Look at that. They're fantastic. I wish I could wear my samples. If I could wear all the samples I did for magazines, I would have hundreds of sweaters. I mean, not all of them my style or my color combination, but I must have designed hundreds of sweaters magazines over the last 20 years, and they're all a size 10. Well, most of them are size 10. Done a couple in bigger sizes, but most of them are size 10, and I'm not. So, and I don't think I ever will be. Anyway, looks fabulous. I'll have a look at this later. I might take this with me, see if I don't fancy knitting or crocheting when I take a break at the services. I can read through that instead, especially when I'm eating and stuff. So that's it for today. Don't forget to check out Tuesday's YouTube video and look at the discount for the Finishing Techniques online course if you fancy that. Get 10% off. It's just the Finishing Techniques course. Don't forget to check out the 15% off my website. Los Hermanos Uruguay Yatagan, Merino Cotton Yatagan Organic Trio, and loads of sandball yarns. Sandball, Seneca sandball, regular sandball, sandball 100, laceball 100, flower, lace flower, sandball, crazy sandball. I don't know, loads of them. So do check that out, plus beads, notions, and my books. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing.